The 2019 NFL Scouting Combine is set to begin later this week in Indianapolis, and it can be a thing that's really a make or break deal for a lot of prospects with a lot of questions to answer. With that said, here are the 4 prospects who will be at the Combine with the most at stake. There's no question we have to start with Kyler Murray. He's going to have to answer so many questions about whether his heart is really in football. The NFL Combine is just rampant and prime with fabricated drama. So Murray's going to have to answer time and time again, whether it comes from team executives or whether it comes from media, about whether he really loves football. If that's fair or not, that's really not up to us to decide. It's just going to happen. About this time 1 year ago, a lot of people were talking about Oliver potentially being the #1 overall selection in the 2019 draft. And as much as I hate this, I just know that this disagreement he had on the sidelines late in his career with the coaching staff about wearing a jacket when he was inactive on the sidelines, I think this is going to come up, and I think it's going to be something that teams are going to ask him about whether he has issues with authority. As long as Oliver's prepared to answer those questions, he should be fine. I think the bigger issue is going to be his measurements. At the NFL level for a defensive tackle, he might be a bit undersized, and if some teams feel that he's a bit of a tweener, that could potentially affect his draft stock. Jalen Ferguson may be the most purely athletic and gifted pass rusher in the entire draft class, but because of a simple battery conviction stemming from his freshman year at Louisiana Tech, he almost didn't get invited to the Combine. But because of a recent tweak, as reported by our Jarrett Bell to the NFL Combine rules, Ferguson is now able to attend. He'll go through medical evaluations, he'll be able to do team interviews, but he'll still continue to be barred from on-field and performance drills. And while he'll still have a chance to show what he can do athletically at his pro day and at private workouts, Ferguson has to be ready to answer these questions, admit that it was a mistake, and say that he's moved on. Bryce Love had a monster, and I mean monster, 2017 season. While in 2018 those numbers dipped dramatically, and making matters worse, he announced in January that he tore his ACL on the final play of his collegiate career. He still wants to participate in the Combine in some form or fashion, but there's no question that dealing with that injury and the recovery and the rehab, he's going to be quite limited. How he comes out in those medical evaluations will be key for his draft stock, but he'll still have to answer questions about his decline in production.